Hello, good morning, my dear students. We'll continue with the second module here, that is engineering survey for highway locations. So the name itself suggests that engineering survey for the highway locations. To construct the highway, the survey has been carried out to decide the locations, isn't it? Okay, so we'll go here. The stages of engineering survey for highway location. The survey which has been carried out, that are in the stages. The stages are map study. First one is map study. By careful study of the topographical map, it is possible to have an idea of several possible alternate routes, so that further details of these may be studied later at the site. First point here, it is in the map study. There are several points, there are several steps to carry out the engineering survey to decide the highway location. In that, the first one is map study, reconnaissance, and some of the following and preliminary survey, and final location, the detailed survey. These are the points. In that, the first one is the map study. In map study, by careful study of the topographical map, it is possible to have an idea of several possible alternative routes, so that the further details of these may be studied later at the site. The first thing what we need to do in the deciding the location of the highway is the study of the map. If you are going to look at into the map, you are going to have the alignment, what the gradient of the location, you can get it. So from the gradient of the this thing, you can decide where the road alignment has to be provided, so that we can give a best route. Okay, again, best route means there is again the factors which are to be considered in deciding the highway location, highway alignment, and the requirements of that highway alignment. So by keeping in view of these two things, so we'll have to decide in the map, we'll have to study the map and decide which one is the good route. Okay, again, the details has been studied in the further stages. Okay, the features like the rivers, hills, valleys, counter intervals can be observed. So by looking into the map, you can going to know where the hill is there, where the valley is there, where the river is flowing, where are the cross intersections are there. These things you can study it by looking into the map. Okay, and by knowing these features, it can fairly assign the alignment, avoiding valleys, lakes, and possible location of bridges, that is avoiding sharp turns, etc. It is also possible to suggest permissible gradient considering the counter intervals. By studying this map thoroughly, we can decide where should be the location of our highway alignment, so that we can avoid the crossing of the rivers and valleys, lakes, and we can avoid the sharp curves or steep curves. That is, we can avoid this U-pin curves like that, V-pin curves. So we can avoid such curves, so that as much as possible we have to provide the best route or best alignment of the road. And even we can think of the gradient, what kind of gradient, so that we can provide, so that it will be economical one. Okay, so by keeping in mind the factors which are going to required for deciding the highway alignment, these factors are to be considered to decide the alignment of the road. So this you will get in a map study. By studying the map, you can decide where should be our highway alignment. So the first step is the map study. Next is the reconnaissance. Reconnaissance means you have studied in your third semester the survey. There you have studied the preliminary survey, reconnaissance survey, secondary survey, and reconnaissance survey. The reconnaissance survey means the various alternative routes has to be find out, and you will have to check it out the each and every route, and you will have to check the possibility of each and every route and make it is so economical one. That is called as reconnaissance survey. Here also the reconnaissance survey means it is to examine the general character of the area for deciding the most feasible routes for detailed studies. The same thing, a field survey party may be inspect fairly broad stretch of the land along the proposed alternative routes of the map in the field. Only few simple instruments like Abney level, tangent clinometer, barometer or GPS are used by the reconnaissance party to collect the additional details rapidly. Here one body will be there that is going to check the some of the things in the alternate routes. They are going to examine the general characteristic of the area for deciding the most feasible routes for detailed studies. And also a field survey for party may inspect fairly broad stretch of the land along the proposed alternative routes. Different alternative routes they are going to check the fairly broad stretch. Along the broad stretch they will check, so the what are the requirements they need to have, they are going to check and make it as economical one. And they are using the some simple few instrument, that is tangentometer, Abney level, clinometer and barometer and or a GPS, so that we will get some more details from the for the study purpose. These some of the details are required. These details they are getting with the help of these instruments. After getting these details, they are going to carry out the trial and error method. They carry out the trial and error method, and they will decide which one is the feasible route for the road construction of the highway alignment. Apart from that, there are some of the again following details are to be collected. Okay, those things are the location of valleys, ponds, lakes and marshy land, hills, permanent structures and their obstructions along their route which are not available in the map. In map, some of the things are available and some of the things which are not been available in the maps, like our permanent structures like mosque, temples, church, all those things. Okay, monuments. These things should be afterwards. After these things should not be available in the map. These things they are checking. So they are taking the alternate routes. So in those alternate routes, they are checking whether these things are available in that. So if these things are available, then how to divert the road, how to divert the alignment of the road. These things are they are going to study. And approximate values of the gradient, length of the gradient, radius of the curves of the alternate alignment. Approximate values of the gradients. Just by looking into the map, they will come to know the approximate value of the gradient and the length of the gradient, radius of the curves of the alternate alignments. For alternate alignments, roughly they are going to calculate this thing, so that they will come to the conclusion of the best route, so that they are carrying out this approximate calculation. And number and type of gross drainage structures, maximum flood level and natural groundwater level along the probable roads. These things also they keep it in mind, the natural ground level of the ground, how much it is in that proposed road construction, and the sources of construction, that is materials, water and locations of stone quarries. And in that alternative roads, they are going to check the available raw materials required for construction of those roads. If they are available at the near distance, then it will be very economical for us, or it will be very beneficial for us to make it in a economical one, isn't it? So if they are available at the far distance, then again there is a transportation is required. Okay, So again it will be what little bit costlier. Okay, not we can call it, not overall it will be costly, but the expenditure will be increases. Okay, what we call it is expenditure will increase. So they also checking the natural available materials in the nearby the site locations. And when the alignment passes through the hill, additional details like type of rocks, depth of the strata, seepage flow. So again, these things also taken into the consideration. The alignment passes through hill. If the alignment is passes through the hill, they will have to know the type of rock strata below the whatever beneath the ground. What type of rock strata is there? Depth of the strata, seepage flow. So these things also been taken into consider. Okay, so which influence for the decide of the highway alignment. And a preliminary survey. This preliminary survey can be done either by the conventional approach or by aerial survey if the area is more. One is the conventional approach and by the aerial. When you are going for the aerial, when the area is large, you are going for the aerial survey. When the area is small, then you can go for the conventional approach to carry out the preliminary survey. The main objective of this preliminary survey are to survey the various alternate alignments proposed after the reconnaissance and to collect all the necessary physical information and details of the topography, drainage and the soil. After the reconnaissance survey, in reconnaissance survey we are going to have the various different alternative routes. In preliminary survey, we are detailedly studying about those alternative roads. Though in those alternative roads we are going to check the alignment of the roads and physical information like physical information of the area and details of the topography, drainage and the soil type. Okay, these things we are going to study in this preliminary survey. This survey has been carried out to compare the different proposals in a view of the requirement of the good alignment and to estimate the quantity of earthwork materials and the other construction aspects and to work out the cost of alternative proposals. That only in preliminary survey what we are doing mainly the thing is whatever the alternative routes they are deciding in a reconnaissance survey, we are studying briefly about each and every alternate routes. We are studying thoroughly about each and alternative routes since from the whatever the strata it is having a depth of that material and seepage of that rock bed and also the availability of raw materials and whether there is a hilly regions or any monuments are there in that route. All those things we are checking for each and every alternative route and to finalize the best alignment from the all consideration and decide the which one is the best alignment for the route. So these things has been studied out in a preliminary survey. Clear here? Reconnaissance survey, preliminary survey, map study. In map study generally we are checking the alignment of the the gradient of the road we are going to get or gradient of the ground we are going to get. So based on that we are going to decide which are the feasible routes are there. Okay, in the map study we are doing. In apart from the map study, the reconnaissance survey we are doing, so to check the various alternate routes and all those things. So here again we are using the some of the instruments to get the more detail about those the whatever in that alternative routes. Okay, different materials, that is abniometer, clinometer, tangential meter, odometer. These things we are using for the details, thorough details about that area. And next further the preliminary survey has also been carried out. It means here thorough study of each and every alternative routes and we'll have to decide the best route for the highway alignment. Clear? Next is the final location and the detailed survey. After finalizing one road, the survey has been carried out. Again, some more thorough about detailed survey has been carried out in that road. The alignment finalized at the design office after the preliminary survey is to be located on the field by establishing the center line. Whatever the finalized by the officer in the preliminary survey, that has been drawn on the ground. The center line of that proposed route has been drawn on the field center line. The center line of the road finalized is to be translated on the ground during the location survey. This has been carried out in a location survey because to locate that points. The center line stakes are driven at suitable intervals, say 50 meter in plain and rolling terrain, and at 20 meter in hilly terrain. Stakes means pegs. You have studied in the while carrying out the survey lab. You have studied the pegs and the stakes. Arrival ranger on arrows. Arrows you have studied. Likewise, stakes. Stakes are driven at suitable intervals, say about 50 meter in level or plain terrain ground, and at 20 meter interval in the hilly terrains. Okay. Temporary benchmark are fixed at intervals of about 250 meter and at all drainages and underpass structures. Temporary benchmark has to be fixed. What is temporary benchmark? Okay. We'll study benchmark. Benchmark and a temporary benchmark. Benchmark is what? It is a point of known elevation. It is a point of known elevation, that is called benchmark. Temporary, again here it is someone is fixed and someone is temporary. Temporary benchmarks are those which are wherever there is a survey has to be carried out nearby location, we are going to fix with the help of live living, we are going to fix the benchmark. That benchmark is called as temporary benchmark. Okay, so here in this highway alignment also, the temporary benchmark has to be fixed at every 250 meter interval. At every 250 meter interval, temporary benchmark has to be fixed. Why we need to fix? To carry out the survey work. Okay, so not only from single point we can carry the entire survey. So we can fix at 250 meter interval different benchmark, temporary benchmark, so that it can be easier for the carrying out the survey work. Okay, so we need to have this one to provide the proper drainage and also to provide the proper underpass and also to provide the alignment of the road. Okay, the levels are taken temporary bench fixed. The levels are taken along the longitudinal section and the cross section at every 50 to 100 meter intervals. The cross section should be taken at curves and where there is a gradient change. Okay, here the longitudinal section and a cross section has to be taken. I think you have studied the longitudinal section and the cross section leveling. Longitudinal section, longitudinal leveling, cross section leveling you have studied, I think, in your survey lab. Okay, at 50 meter interval longitudinal leveling has to be carried out. For those only at 5, 10, 15 meter interval, cross section leveling has to also been carried out, so that we'll get the profile of the road. So that we can draw this profile of the ground in a AutoCAD, so that we can get afterwards we can decide the gradient of the ground, and then we can calculate the quantity of cutting and filling. Okay, and also to provide the camber, this cross section leveling is required. And wherever there is a curves are there, we need to have the block contouring. So that the width at the cross section needs to be increased, and we need to provide a proper alignment and gradient, so that the vehicle should cross that vehicle should pass that cross easily with comfort. Okay, we can call it as super elevation. So I think whenever you're driving the vehicles, that you will feel in while driving the cars, you will feel less in the two wheelers, but you will feel very good comfortness while driving the cars. During the curves, during the curves, one side of the road has been at a high elevation, one is at the lower elevation. That is called as super elevation. That we will study in this. Furthermore, in this subject, we'll study about the super elevation, and all those things. So why they are going to provide the super elevation? So that the vehicle should pass that cross with a design speed of 50 or 60 kilometers. Okay, so in such crosses, we need to take the block countering to know the elevation and the cross section. So whenever there is a gradient changes, that is the cross in the crosses, and there is a vertical gradient, we need to have the block contouring. So these things you are doing in your extensive survey. The alignment highway project is there. In there you are going to do these things. Okay, the longitudinal section you are doing, the cross section you are doing, but here you are doing for 10 meter interval, you are doing the cross sections for your extensive survey projects. Okay, the same thing whatever I am explaining here, highway work, same thing you are doing in the extensive survey. What you are going to decide, the alignment of the road, the central line of the road you are going to mark. So along that you are going to take the longitudinal section at 10 meter intervals, and for that only you are going to take the cross sections of 5, 10, 15, 5, 10 meter, 15 meter on the left hand side and the right hand side. Okay, and wherever there is a horizontal curve, you are going to take the block contouring, and whenever there is a vertical gradient or a vertical curve, there also you are going to take the block contouring. Afterwards you will come and you will design the highway. Okay, this thing you are doing, whatever I am explaining, this thing you are going to do in your extensive survey. Okay, the levels are taken along the junction. The data collected during the detailed survey should be elaborate and complete for the preparation of detailed plans, design, estimate of the project. Drawings and reports. The following drawings are usually prepared in a highway projects: key map, proposed and existing road, important places, index map, that is topography, size being 32 by 20 meter, preliminary survey plans, alternative alignments and other information are going to draw, detailed plan, that is alignment, boundaries, counter intervals, A2 size sheet, in A2 size sheet, longitudinal section, that you are going to datum line, existing ground level, vertical profile with a scale of 1 horizontal to 10 vertical, and details of cross section level at every 100 meter interval, land acquisition plans, details of buildings, well and other details, drawings of cross drainage and other retaining structures with a scale of 1:1, structural detailing, drawings of road intersection details and the traffic flows, and land plan showing the quarries, etc. These drawings has to be prepared. Next is the project report. The project report forms an important part of the project document. It should contain information such as general details of the project and its importance, features of the road including selection of the route, alignment, traffic, etc. So the project report of so every work what you are doing, they are going to be submitted in a project for report format. Then approval has been taken, then fund is going to, or grant is going to released. Okay, so the project report what you are going to propose should contain these things. Okay, One is the general details of the project and its importance, which you should maintain the importance of this project and the general details of the project. And it also contains the feature of the road, including selection of the road. To select the route, you will have to have very alternative different routes. Okay, so they will have to justify here why you are going to choose this route. Okay, why you are going to choose this route in the best alternatives. When you are having 3-4 alternative, why you have chosen this route, this you are going to mention in that report. And also alignment and the traffic flow. Alignment, what is the alignment they are given in that route, and what is the traffic flow, etc. things should be included in that. Road design and the specification, you should design the road and the specification has to be given as per IRC recommendations. Drainage facilities and cross drainage facility, that is longitudinal drainage facility as well as cross drainage facilities, these also should be included. In the cross drainage facility, we are going to provide the camber. Okay, camber, if you provide the camber with, so that you can provide, so that you can give the good cross drainage facility. And the materials, what are the materials you are using for construction of that roads, highway, and the labor and equipments, and also the rates. Construction programming, and also construction programming means steps to carry out the work, that also you should give. And as other miscellaneous items like diversion of traffic, roadside amenities, rest houses, etc. During that construction, you may have the traffic on that alignment, that what kind of the measures you are going to take to do that work. Okay, so this all should be included in the project's report, then only they will taken for the approval and all those things. These are the content of your project report. Okay, we'll study in the next class about the new highway alignment.